Asalaamu alaikum, ladies. Sorry I've been gone for so long. With the Easter holidays that we've had and the fact that I haven't been very well, I just couldn't be bothered. Basically, I just didn't want to do it. You know, I don't film when I'm not feeling well, obviously. So, and just with the kids running around, it's just been too manic. So, this is the Ask Me Anything nearly video that I was doing. Sorry, I'm really tired. My baby decided that he was going to wake up at 3:30 this morning, talk to everyone non-stop until 5:30, then went to sleep until 6:30, and then woke up at 6:30 and started shouting his mouth off that we were going to be late because we had to go to Rio's party. Rio's his cousin, who lives 180 miles away, and like I said, it was 6:30 in the morning, and he was actually going to his friend's party today, but 6:30 he decided he was just going to start shouting at everybody. I say baby, he's 3. So yeah, I'm very sleep deprived. I'm going to get straight into it. If I haven't answered your question, it's because I've answered it and someone else has already asked it. So I'm pretty sure that I have got every single question that anyone has asked me. If I haven't, I'm really sorry. And just leave me a comment and I'll try and have to reply in the comments, I'm afraid. But I think I've got everybody's. Hypomanicpoet says, "You are a Christian who wears hijab, which I honestly think is great." Thank you very much. It's very nice. However, why do you say asalaamu alaikum and otherwise act and present yourself as a Muslima? Also, Corinthians 11:15 says that if a woman has long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her for covering. Basically, our hair is our hijab or covering and it's supposed to be our crown as well. Why cover it? I'm going to just quickly read to you this isn't all of that verse, but it's most of it, and then I'll explain my thinking. "But every woman praying or prophesying with her head unveiled dishonours her head, for it is one and the same thing as if she was shaven. For a woman is not veiled, let her be shorn. But if it is shameful for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be veiled. For a man indeed ought not to have his head veiled, for as much as he is the image and glory of God, but the woman is the glory of man. For this cause ought the woman to have a sign of authority on her head, because of the angels. Judge ye in yourselves, is it seemly for a woman to pray unto God unveiled? Doth not even nature itself teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a dishonour to him? But if a woman have long hair, it is glory to her, for her hair is given to her for covering. That any man seemeth to be contentious, we have no custom, neither the churches of God." I don't know what that last bit means, so don't ask me to explain it, because I don't know. Basically, I think that can be interpreted in many ways, but the general gist is, obviously, if you're praying, you should have your head covered. Or, you know, praying or prophesying. I think everything we do should be for God, to be honest. You know, every action we take, we should sort of have God in our, you know, in the front of our minds. And I'll be honest, you know, the main reason for me is, you know, for my fiance. You know, no other man has done anything to deserve to see my body or my hair or anything, actually. And I mean, no other man in the, you know, at all has ever done anything to deserve it. So, you know, why should any other man be able to see me in all of my glory? You know, my fiance should be the only one who actually sees me. So that's how it is. And, you know, I do believe that, you know, people look at me and they can see that I'm religious. A lot of people think I'm Muslim, and I do correct people. You know, I don't walk up to people shouting that I'm Christian, but obviously if they ask me, I tell them that I'm Christian. So, you know, people can see that I'm religious, and the way people treat you is different than if you're dressed not quite as covered. But, you know, women who don't cover, I don't have a problem. You know, we're at church today. I was the only woman who had my head covered. I didn't look around thinking that I was, you know, oh so pious and wonderful compared to everyone else. Far from it. You do what's right for you, you know. And Mary 001 Mary Elizabeth, said that completely wrong, didn't I? "The other thing I've wondered, and I see I'm not the only one, is why if you are Christian do you use greetings which are Muslim? I admire you for wearing hijab, but the greetings don't make sense to me." I have a feeling that I've mixed up your comment with another person's, because you've started with the other thing I've wondered. I put all these on my, you know, computer and tried to put them in order. So I've got something in my eye, and that's in the other one. And obviously, Hypomaniac, sorry. I'm so sleep deprived. Hypomanic also said to me, why do I say asalaamu alaikum and present myself as a Muslima? I don't think I do present myself as Muslim, to be honest. I know a lot of people look at me, see my head's covered and assume I'm Muslim, but, you know, I'm not. Why do I say asalaamu alaikum? Because I love languages. I wish I could speak every language in the world. I would love to learn Arabic. I've tried. I can't. I, you know, just destroy the Arabic language. And, you know, Arabic, asalaamu alaikum basically translate as to peace and blessings be upon you, which I think is really lovely. I think it's a lovely thing to say to somebody. Video cough for the win. And it's much better than hello. You know, when you say hello, hello means hello, whereas, you know, asalaamu alaikum means peace and blessings be upon you, which I just think is lovely. So that's why I say it. Mizzwalker says, what do you think of alternative terms such as differently able being used to describe people with disabilities? And having 3 kids and being disabled, have you run into any challenges along the way, or have any advice for other disabled parents or those thinking of becoming parents? What do I think of the term differently abled? It really, really winds me up. I hate it. It really annoys me because I'm not differently abled. I'm disabled. And obviously I'm talking for myself. I'm not talking for, you know, I'm not a speaker for the world of disabled people. But, you know, it annoys me because differently abled, well, that's everyone, isn't it? We're all differently abled. Everyone is able to do things differently. And, you know, with a lot of stuff, being disabled, you can do it. You've just got to do it a different way to other people. So I can see where the differently abled thing comes into it. But there's a lot of things I can't do, which is where the disabled bit comes from. And, you know, I'm the most politically correct person I know. I really am, to a fault. And it's really annoying, actually, that I just don't have it in me to offend anybody. But even I think, you know, we're getting a bit silly with the whole PC thing now, that, you know, you can't call a disabled person disabled, you've got to call them differently abled. And I don't know a single disabled person who likes being called differently abled. Most of these things, same as, you know, I have carers who have to do various things for me. And, you know, we used to be called clients, and then it changed to service users, and now it's changed again to customers, because there's some bloke who sits in an office who isn't disabled in the slightest, who's decided that it's derogatory to call us clients. Well, no one asked me my opinion on that, and no one's ever asked me, you know, whether I think we should be called disabled or differently abled. And I don't know anyone who's disabled who likes being called differently abled. Rant over. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I hate it. And, you know, advice for disabled parents. Basically, you know, you've got to make sure you've got a supportive partner. There's going to be a lot of things that you can't do for yourself, or that you're going to struggle to do, that you need someone else to do for you. So you need to have someone who's going to be willing to do that. You also need to make sure that pride doesn't get in the way of parenting. If there's something that you can't do, or you can do it but badly, and there's someone else available who can do it, who is happy to do it, and let them do it. You know, don't be too proud and think, you know, they're my kids, so I'm going to do it myself. If anyone wants to ask me anything more, you know, if they want any more advice or anything like that, send me an inbox message. I'm sure I'm going to say your username wrong, because I don't know how to say it. Anonymous as someone Anonymous someone one. When and why did you become goth? I became goth when I was about 10, and then I stopped when I was about 11, and then went back into being goth when I was about 13, stopped when I was 14, because people used to pick on me for being goth, and I didn't like it, so I stopped. And then I got to 17 and realised that I don't care what anyone thinks, and anyone who's going to make a stupid comment to me because I happen to be goth, they're probably not really worth my time. And why would I try and impress people who are so small-minded that they would look at someone who's goth and make stupid assumptions about them? Why do I care what they think? I don't. So, yeah, I went back to being goth when I was 17, and I've been like it now for 10 years, and I'm sure I will continue for many, many more. And oOloveislamoO, which is probably not how you say your username, but that's how I'm saying it. What's your definition of gothic? I don't have one, really. You know, there's this, but basically someone who, you know, is into sort of the whole subculture, you know, the music, the clothes, there isn't a so I've got an itchy nose now as well. There isn't a definition of gothic, I don't think. Yeah, sorry, that's a rubbish answer, but that's the only one I can give. That Twitchy Lady says, what advice would you give to a disabled American hijabi moving to London? Are there any must-see places or things to do that most won't find in travel guides? Any must-avoid areas? I know it's a weird question, but I'm epileptic, and I don't want to go out to explore while the husband is at work and start feeling an aura in a less than tolerant neighbourhood. Thank you for any response. I don't live in London, and I've never lived in London. I'm from Essex, which most people think is in London, but it's not. Essex is in Essex and London's in London. I couldn't tell you, to be honest, and I wouldn't even, you know, trust myself to Google it. I don't think there's anywhere. You know, Luton is a very Muslim populated area. But I can't think of anywhere that is, you know, anti-Muslim, but I could be wrong. So I'm sorry, but yeah, that's probably not very helpful either. I'm sorry that my camera keeps wobbling. I can see it at the corner of my eye. It's doing it now. I've got a vase, CDs, a box and some hair gel piled up with this on the top of it because my baby giraffe tripod is annoying me, so I've just piled a load of stuff up, so every time I move it starts to wobble. PowerOnHerHead says, do you always wear hijab? What is your opinion of the hijab style where women wear volumized hijabs with skinny jeans? I don't care about it from a modesty standpoint. This is not my place to judge, but I think it looks funny. It makes them look like they're so top heavy they're going to fall over. I'm actually wearing a volumizer in the back of my head, and I'm wearing skinny jeans at the same time, so I couldn't really comment, to be honest, because I'm doing it. I think it looks nice, basically. And yes, I do always wear hijab. I have deleted the little bit of your question which also says, do I ever wear the more Jewish style hijab? When I'm in the house on my own, I just wear it round there and wrap it round my bun, because, well, not in the house on my own, but, you know, just in the house, because obviously, like I said before, I haven't got any curtains. But when I go out, I always wear hijab, and, you know, I'm in the house at the moment, and I've had this on all day because I wore it to church, so I just didn't bother taking it off. Vintage Gypsy Queen says, question 1, do you know of a way to wear a head covering while adding more height to the head? I have a smaller round face, so I do like the idea of getting some height going along. 2, second question, can you show different ways to tie, wrap the scarf? Question 3, can you possibly do a tutorial on these questions? Yeah, I can show you some other ways of wearing the hijab. I can show you the, you know, the way I do it in the house. I will do a tutorial on that. And way of wearing head cover, adding more height to the head, the only thing I'd say is a volumizer, like what I've got on now. I'll leave a link in the down bar to Sima's tutorial on how to do that. And my last question is from Zedaytch. Zedaytch. I'm going to write everyone's name in the description bar because I've probably pronounced everyone's names wrong. Has Swindon changed much? I'm sure you said to me before that you moved away 3 years ago. Has it changed much in the past 3 years? I think it's got more multicultural, to be honest, which is a good thing. I've noticed that, you know, when I'm uptown now, I see a lot of hijabi girls around, which is good. And I remember, you know, when I first moved here, and that was 8 years ago or something. 8? Yeah, 8 years ago. Something like that, anyway. But, yeah, 8 or 9 years ago I moved here, and I can't remember ever seeing Muslim, you know, women or anything around. And now, you know, you see quite a lot, and I've never, you know, I've only ever had one minor incident of anyone being funny with me, and that was in Subway, and I have said about that in my Why We Hating video. Yeah, I think it's got more multicultural. You know, there's a lot more, you know, diversity between people now than what there used to be. So, yeah, it's alright. I don't mind living in Swindon. I don't actually live in Swindon, by the way, in case anyone, you know, wants to go hunting around Swindon to try and find me. I live in a village outside Swindon, but I'm not saying which village I live in because it is a small village. But if there is any Swindonians around, if you see me, Or even if you see me, you know, in Colchester or London or wherever else I happen to be, come up to me and say hi. I don't mind. I like, you know, I'd like people to come up and say hello to me, just to do a little shift around. Yeah, that's it. I hope that answers everyone's questions. I'm sorry that this video isn't actually that great. I filmed it earlier on and it was going brilliant. It was really good. And then I ran out of ran out of memory on my camera because I'd actually forgotten to delete my sister-in-law-to-be's wedding photos. And yeah, it just used up all of my memory. I've got a few more videos that I'm going to be making. I'm going to definitely be uploading a bit quicker than what I have been because, you know, 2.5 weeks is a bit of a joke, innit? Makeup tutorial coming up, and I've got a couple of other things, but I can't remember. So if there's any requests that you want me to do, I will try and do the different hijab style things. I made this one up earlier. I really like it. I don't know how well you can see it. I know I've been glowing throughout the whole video because of the lighting. Yeah, if there's any requests, as always, put them in comments. I will get to them when I can. Obviously, as I've said before, you know, I can't give definite days on when I'm going to be doing videos because of my health. I don't know how well I'm going to be and how many days that's going to last for. So, you know, I don't make any promises to people because I don't want to disappoint anyone. But if anyone ever wants to say anything to me, you know, I do, even if I'm feeling ill, I still go and check YouTube all day long pretty much. So send me a message and I endeavour to reply to everyone who sends me a message. I try really hard to reply to every single comment, so if you send me a message you've got even more chance. I'm going to go because I'm just talking a load of rubbish now and none of you care. I'll be amazed if anyone's actually watching this. Thumbs up this video if you're still watching now. I'll be very surprised to see how many people are still watching. So yeah, that's it. I hope everyone is doing really well. Be good to each other.